I have been living in Bali for a couple of months now. This is truly amazing island located in tropical climate. The Balinese cuisine is tasty and it mostly consists of rice. Many tourists who visit this place already know this, but if you spend a little bit more time, then you will notice that rice is more important for Balinese people than just food. I want to explore this together with you because some people might have missed this the first trip around. I want to give you a better understanding of Balinese culture and its people. Or just repeat what you already know. Rice is vital for most of Asia. It's a nutrition that fills the stomachs of majority of Asian population. Asian farmers account for 87% of the world's rice production. Bali is located in Indonesia and is the third largest producer of rice in the world. They produce around 70 metric tons of rice per year, and they consume more than half of the rice. It amounts to about 150 kilo of rice per person per year. If rice is so important for so many people, how is Bali different from the rest of Asia? We know that rice needs a lot of water and hard work. That's why it's well suited for countries and regions with low labor cost and high rainfall. Bali is one of those regions, but for how long? The fast-growing tourism industry might change that. Because Bali is part of Indonesia, there's many overlapping traditions. The rice consumption habits look similar, with the biggest difference being religion. Indonesian population comprises of 87% Islam, while the island of Bali is 83% Hindu. These differences contribute to rice playing a different cultural role in Bali than the rest of Indonesia. Rice plays an integral part of Bali, both nutritionally and spiritually. When Balinese people eat rice, they really do eat rice. They mostly eat plain rice with few proteins and vegetables as side dishes. There is a saying in Bali, if you haven't eaten rice, you haven't eaten at all. It is believed that if you control rice, you control life, wealth and prosperity. That's why Devi Sri is highly respected goddess, both in Bali and neighboring islands. As well as there exist many different analogous myths and legends throughout the whole Indonesia. Rice cultivation hasn't changed that much since 9th century. Balinese people have created a really complex system for management of fresh water supply called Subak. The artificial system of canals, tunnels, weirs runs through the temples and villages onto rice paddies. Naturally, this irrigation system is really important for Bali both culturally and spiritually. It brings together different communities of farmers and banjars. There are also many water temples along the way with priests who are responsible for water management. Priests have to perform spiritual rituals to promote harmonious relationship between people and environment. Rice is a central part of Balinese culture and tradition. Each day, people pray and offer rice as a thanks to the gods. Families perform frequent ceremonies that are required for successful rice production. There are also less frequent ceremonies in each village, and there are annual ceremonies where islanders gather at the source of water irrigation for rice production. People gather from all over Bali to be part of these festivals. They are usually held in Kintamani and Lake Butter. These ceremonies are also important to keep the traditional patterns of Subak irrigation system. This system provides agricultural stability and socio-religious consistency. These ceremonies also help to create bonds between villages and families. People have to work together to create prosperous rice growth across different communities. Balinese traditions are world unique, and they have existed in Bali for thousands of years. There are many beautiful and impressive rituals and places that attract many tourists from all around the globe. Many people want to experience Balinese way of living, and tourism leads to higher standards of living for Balinese people, but it can also create traction between old Balinese traditions and modernization of Bali. Sometimes there is good balance, but in more touristy areas, few young people choose to become farmers. Without farmers, nobody is able to take care of the rice fields. It is simply unattractive to be a rice farmer in modern society. It's a simple equation of cost and income. It's harder to earn living from farming than it's from a tourism. Even farmers advise their children against following their footsteps. Some kids are rather sent away from the village to study in a city. This results in farmers becoming older without younger generation to take over the tradition. This creates scarcity of labor in the field. Sometimes, the land itself is more worth than the rice that grows on it. That's why there is a transfer of land and capital from agriculture to other sectors. People rather want to own property than green rice terraces. You can clearly see fast-growing living complexes and resorts in a place where there used to be rice terraces. This is a pattern that exists in many places throughout East Asia, where tourism is booming. What's special about Bali is that rice has a big significant role in Balinese culture and spirituality at the same time as tourism plays a role in Balinese economy. Tourism plays a big role in Balinese economy with tourists that are attracted to Balinese culture who are also responsible for the declination of the culture. Bali is in a struggle of finding balance between spirituality and economical prosperity that tourists bring with them. Tourists bring big changes and Bali had to adapt really fast over the past years. It is unknown how far the small island is willing to change in order to please incoming visitors. Hopefully, Bali will be able to find a healthy and sustainable balance in the future. But for now, keep this in mind next time you are visiting Bali and you order a small plate of rice. This plate of rice has traditions rooted in culture for over more than thousands of years. There are generations of families that helped cultivating this white grain. For some tourists, it might be a cheap snack, but for millions of people, it is a way of living. Like if you like this video and like if you dislike. Remember to subscribe. Thank you for your support. You might also want to share this video with your friends who are planning to visit Bali. If you want to collaborate with me, you can leave a comment or send me an email.